Goeienaand mense. Good evening in salute. The original plan tonight was to expose Loving Life for the absolute farce he is, but it was as a result of Ronaldo's video. Well, actually his response to Ronaldo's video, so I guess Ronaldo had the right to go and do the live stream first. Unfortunately, he came to me and asked me exactly where does Loving Life talk cuck? Spread fake news on the internet. And I haven't followed him, and as soon as I noticed that what he was doing, I stopped following him. So I only know about 2 or 3 cases. So I mentioned those 2 or 3 cases to Ronaldo, and he used exactly those cases in his live stream that I was planning on showing you guys. But just in case there are people watching that didn't watch the Ronaldo host live stream, I'm still going to go through all the motions. But let me just first hear from you guys. Is the stream doing okay? Where's my cam server frikkie? Away, legale. Daar vat hy nou. I'm going to assume that that everything is still fine and in order. But there's a reason why I feel we should start calling out people amongst our own ranks. Because after the Ronaldo host live stream, there were 2 gentlemen speaking. I wasn't 100% sure what their names are. I was busy with other stuff, but I didn't check the actual chat bars. But they were speaking about Lawrence Southern, Stephen Molyneux, and it's almost like they bag everyone together. Suidlanders and AfriForum. Ernst Roots himself has spoken out against what Suidlanders is doing and the type of narrative they are pushing out. But for the general public, for those that don't really go into detail and go and research and see what's the true story, they bag Suidlanders and AfriForum in the same bag, and it's like the bag of deplorables. Which is why AfriForum is still struggling with people saying that they are perpetuating a notion of white genocide, which is something that has been labeled onto them because there were other groups that were doing that, and everybody were tossed into the same frying pan. And I acknowledge that there are people out there over exaggerating about what's happening on the farms, and that has a negative effect on the ground, because there are people out there like AfriForum, for example, that is doing true and genuine work, and they stick to their facts. And because they are now in the same little group, they get brushed aside, and we should speak out against that. And Scott from Loving Life is the same. Klipkop, it was me talking about the Americans are doing it. Well, Maxons are, I didn't diss you, I listened to the conversation, and I see your viewpoint, but see ours as well, it's almost like it gives the left ammunition to squish a worthy cause, because AfriForum is really doing a proper cause. Those that say AfriForum equals genocide shows their own ignorance and thus expose themselves as fake media. Well, it's uninformed people that do that. There's so much information out there that AfriForum is spreading a white genocide. Everybody just takes it as fact when it's just not true. But anyway, let me start doing my actual live stream. Is there any comments I need to address? If you have any comments, you can gooi. I will read them afterwards and definitely respond. And I'm not turning super chat on because I would like to remain unbiased. No, I'm talking cuck. You actually have to have 1,000 subscribers before you can turn it on. As soon as I'm hitting 1,000 subs, I'm turning it on. Main display. Okay, here's the video. Let's give it a listen.
South Africa. But let's listen to what Ronaldo hosts had to say in response to Michael Mostard's comment in the side chat. Here we go.
You know, because obviously I've got my spiked vape here. Right.
Okay, first of all, he deliberately added that little bit in of my spiked vape. With the okay, like everybody knows it was a joke or whatever. But he's obviously being like facetious or like trying to attack him, like paint a picture of him that is not really true, because a person that doesn't really know Ronaldo Ghost would now think he's like some sort of degenerate, when we all know like he doesn't like sit and smoke mandrax out of his pipe, you know. It's Kaiser's juice, you know.
Loving Life is a farce, and I'll tell you why. Loving Life sits there in New Zealand or Australia or England or wherever he is, right? He's got his whole day to sit on in front of his computer, right? So he reads the news, then he makes a video about what he just saw, and then he ends up playing that entire video clip. Copyright strike, right? The reason his channel almost closed was because he's got so many copyright strikes against him. If he gets one more copyright strike, then he's out. The reason I don't respect him is because I've had now a couple of occasions where I wanted to discuss and debate him. He's not interested, and he keeps on saying this or that, like he's sick, he can't do it. But that on that same night he debates somebody else, which leads me to believe that he honestly just doesn't want to debate me. He has spread so much false information, and then later does not detract that he was wrong or detract the statements made. He's literally just there to grow as fast as possible and put out as much content as possible, so that some will hit, some will miss, and those that do hit get a lot of exposure. So Loving Life, no, I'm not loving life. I think Loving Life is a sham, and he knows it, and he steals other people's content and tries to pass it off as its own, and that is really unfortunate. All right.
Now, that was very harsh words to say to anybody, but you know, he said what he wanted to say, and he said it directly, and he was it was harsh, but it wasn't like rude, you know. He didn't like climb down his whole personality and try to make fun of him, be a jester. He said what is on his mind. The reason why Ronaldo started doubting him in the first place is, I think that was more than a year ago. I've always followed French politics a lot, and a lot of people in Ronaldo's comment section were asking at that time, Loving Life, what do you think about Loving Life? And like Ronaldo and myself, we hate each other, but we DM each other every now and again as well. So he asked me what I think about Loving Life. So I said no, but I followed a few videos of him, but he doesn't have his facts in order. Either there are people feeding him fake news, and he is just perpetuating that fake news, or he's deliberately going out there just for the sensationalism. But either way, I just suggest stay away from his channel, and that is basically what he did. And him calling him out that he's spreading out fake news, I think Ronaldo actually went on a little bit of a leap of faith, just for trusting me, that my word. But luckily I had evidence and I could give it to him. But let's listen to this. Let's listen to his response.
Right.
Okay. Now, freedom of speech. It's my turn to respond. First off, Ronaldo Ghosts, you were the one who pulled out of a live stream with me. And you were the one who told me at the last moment you couldn't make it. And I never ever said I was sick or whatever. You're making this BS up. You're full of bullshit. You're absolutely typical DA.
Okay, here we already start. Like, Ronaldo called his channel a farce, which is, I also feel, a pretty accurate description of what his channel is. But he's now He's now starting to become like a little potty mouth, you know, and he's like there's blows below the belt. Why would you react like this?
Man, yeah, absolutely typical. Now, looking at what else you say, let's consider the comment that, and he suggests that I'm just putting out a whole lot of fake information there. Now, guess what, Mr. Host?
No, it's like even if he was suggesting, you are putting out fake information out there. You know this.
Mr. Counselor of Nelson Bay, you know what, buddy boy? Your counsel is a friggin' disgrace. And if you're such a smart asshole, why don't you sort it out? You should be sorting out the municipality of Port Elizabeth rather than getting onto your channel and denigrating someone who is trying to help people in South Africa. Let me tell you something.
You're trying to help people in South Africa. You're going about it the wrong way. You are putting a lot of fake information out there, letting people to believe anybody that's advocating like against what's happening in South Africa as a bunch of fucking idiots. And as soon as somebody sensible stands up and like tries to say there's problems in South Africa, yeah, we've heard all your stories. We don't even care to listen to you. That is why we need to speak out against people like you. You are doing a disservice to South Africans.
Video of yours, which I will link below, so my subscribers can go and have a look at it, and from about 18 minutes on, they will see where he refers to loving life. This channel is, by his own admission, it's to make money. He's up there to make money. He wants people to donate to him. He wants people to donate to him. You know something? You are just a little piece of shit.
Now, you responded like this to him. Now, he's from Dispatch. Now, I'm from the Namaqualand. And if you're going to make a response video to me and take up that tone with me, buddy boy, you are opening Pandora's box. I promise you. You will not hear the end of this.
You know what? My channel, I'm going to show you a video right now, or an image right now, which reflects the status of my channel. You say in this video clip that...
Anyway, I think I'm going to leave that one there. Now, my proof that he is spreading fake news, but the thing is that he's a cunning old fart. Because you should look at like how he brings the message across.
Kirsch. That's K-I-R.
Let's go rewind a bit back. Start from the beginning.
I've responded to you, and I've set out how you can help me. So thank you so much for that. That's a shout out to you guys. Now, the main subject of this video is the economic freedom fighters. And as I mentioned to you, I have a number of very good contacts now in the EFF who are not very happy with the way the things are going, which tends to happen. And a couple of documents have been dropped in my naughty box, my email. And as someone who worked in the bank, they look totally legitimate. And
Like, listen to this tension he builds. Like, somebody dropped a few emails into his naughty box, and he's worked at a bank, and these documents look totally legitimate.
for that reason, I'm going to publish them later in this video.
Wow, now like he's onto something big.
But first of all, I'll just explain to you the background to these documents.
Okay.
The richest man.
Now he goes ahead and to explain that Nathan Kirsch is an absolute scammer and everybody should stay away from him. I'm going to skip over that.
Close to 9 million rand. Now, Kirsch now lives in London with his family. He grew up in Potchefstroom. Obviously, you don't just give someone 9 million rand. I would say that Kirsch is one of Julius Malema's handlers. He obviously has a big say in what the EFF are doing. And I would suggest that the donation is to ensure that Kirsch's assets are not affected by any decisions made by the EFF or the ANC. So this is just an expose. If you're in the EFF, be very, very afraid, because there's a lot more coming. So, know who your friends are, guys. Nathan Kirsch is not one of them. Okay. Now, what follows are the two documents. You'll actually see the ABSA receipt to Mr. Kirsch, and you'll see the other document, which is a confirmation of the payment of. It's actually 8,978,000 rand that landed up in the EFF's bank account in December 2013. What a lovely Christmas present. Okay, what follows is a proof. You can have a look at these documents for yourself, and please remember to subscribe to be kept informed, and have a great day. Bye for now.
Okay, so let's recap now. Like, some mysterious person dropped some confidential emails into his inbox and he is doing this massive expose now. Now let's look at the documents. Here we go. There's from EFF and it's from a FNB account, and where's the Kirsch name? Dear Mr. N. Kirsch. Now, this is a photograph of an online notice of payment. Now, an online notice of payment you get in your email, and like Scott's worked at a bank before, so like his word is the truth. This thing looks legitimate. So, in the name of science, I went and I tried to make a fake notice of payment as realistically as possible on my computer. I'm definitely not a professional graphic designer or anything. Everything I use is free tools, and it's just I'm definitely just a Klipkop. So somebody with almost no experience of graphic design was able to do this. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. ABSA online. Proof of payment. Images. Right, so let's put my face back onto the screen. That was like just over 20 minutes it took me, and this is a very high resolution image. The fonts match identically, and I've got the latest expose here. Let me see, where did I save it? Under live? No. Oh no! I shouldn't forget why I saved it. I don't have GIMP open anymore. NHI, Mobix, Loving Life, here we go. Here's the APSA one. Is this the... I think this is the edited one. Here we go. APSA Online, notice this is not 2013 anymore, like this is a bit later now. Because this is their new layout of APSA, and there with the Barclays logo and everything. And if you go zoom in here, you will see payment made by AfriForum, payment made to the economic freedom fighters for the amount of 25 million rand. AfriForum is sponsoring the EFF. I have just turned the political world upside down. Like, I know I'm only streaming in 480p, but you can like really zoom in here. Everything clocks out. The text is perfect. Now, he regards as a photograph of a printout as like, this is convincing enough, you know, this has got to be the real deal. Guys, I'm feeling like a little break. I'm gonna light the entry. I'm gonna light an entry, and I'm gonna read some comments. Don't tell me I forgot my lighter. Oh, here it is. Like Ronaldo vapes, I smoke entries. Okay, let's see what's happening. Oh wow, you guys are actually active in chat. I'm very flattered. Thank you for finding me interesting enough to like watch. We must be careful not throwing stones at those that try to further the cause of minorities in SA. The thing is, I kind of agree with you, Friede Boer. Most of what Loving Life does on his channel is actually true, but most of the time he either over-sensationalizes it, or he blatantly lies about it, and that I can't take. You know, I can't accept that. And like I said earlier, in the broader scope, it has a negative effect on the whole awareness campaign. Well, people just say, "Oh, but you are part of the people that is fighting for the Boers not getting killed. So you must be just like die Suidlanders, or you must be just like Loving Life," which is, we should start calling them out. You know, it's enough is enough. AfriForum is rather soft cock, bordering liberal leaning. Agreed. He's just so mad because Michael Mostert unsubbed. Funny. Fok man, amper of Ronaldo net 'n bietjie aandag soek. Ai man, okay. Ek gaan nog aan Ronaldo werk. Ek dink Ronaldo verstaan nie lekker vir Cam so vir Frikkie nie. Frikkie is alright, ou. Ek dink ek stot so 'n bietjie. Okay, nou gaan ek nie meer julle fucking ore afgil nie. Hy is 'n doos. Ja, hy fucking oorreageer man. Die ding is, hy's mos nou super chat. Ek wil nou nie vir hom te veel uitvra nie, maar daar's al dinge in sy geskiedenis hoekom hy 'n bietjie emosioneel oor die algemeen is. Jy moet maar geduldig wees met Ronaldo. Ek dink hy moes jou geblok het. Ek gaan nog aan hom werk. Ek gaan hom mooi vra om vir Frikkie te unblok. Hoe klink daai? Overall, Loving Life is doing good work. He should just keep his temper in check. Well, he shouldn't keep his temper in check. You know, when he got those documents, all he had to do was, let me show you how easy it is to get behind the truth. Main display. Here's his Nathan Kirsch thing that he did. This was done on the 5th of January 2019. Now, if I open a Google browser and I type in Nathan Kirsch EFF donation, this is actually like, is an electronic billionaire funding the EFF? Like these things were like started popping out in 2015 already, and here on this is the one. This is from 2015. So now you see over here, the very first hit on Google, you get exactly that same document as, no, it's over here, as you have over here. This is a copy and paste, you know, this is the one he's talking about. But there's news reports from 2015 already, when his video was in 2019, 4 years after the fact. All he had to do was Google. Don't tell me he doesn't know how to Google. He knows how to do a fucking live stream, bro. Back in the day, I gave him the benefit of the doubt, loving life, but I don't anymore. Now, after he did that this whole Nathan Kirsch thing, I sent him this tweet, sent out this tweet on Twitter. There is a channel, Loving Life, on YouTube that is gaining traction. This was in 20th of January, like 2 weeks after the fact. There's a channel, Loving Life, on YouTube that is gaining traction. Although I think he does not have bad intentions, he is a sucker for fake news. Very gullible. Be wary of any information you get from him. Double check the facts. It is counterintuitive to our cause. The thing is, I didn't like totally go down into his personality and call him like all sorts of names. But the thing is, as a result from watching that one video, I decided to go watch, and fact checking what he said in the video exposed him already. So I was just like giving everybody a warning, because the reason I made this post, because there were other people DMing me, Klipkop, you have to cover this, like this is big news. Like, this is old news, it's news from 4 years ago. I was busy reading comments earlier. Let me get back to the comments. I'm actually continuing with my video now. Overall, Loving Life is doing good work. Just keep his temper. Ronaldo does not know where Scott resides. Due diligence, Amur. The thing is, after seeing those things from Scott, I stopped following his channel. You know, I'm not a Scott fan. I don't watch his stuff. I don't sit there like, what is Scott gonna say next that is wrong, you know. I just noticed he's talking cuck, so I just left it, you know. Like, I'm ignoring him from here on forward. But that's pretty much the same as Ronaldo is doing. Guys, I actually have too much comments to cover now. Let me check the ones I was tagged in. Did AfriForum really give 25 million to the EFF? I've got the proof. I'll send you a telephone camera picture of a printout. At Klipkop, I don't have a problem with calling out fake news, but that means facts only. The thing between Ronaldo and Scott is childish, both sides. It isn't really, because Scott does actually perpetuate fake news, and he knows he is perpetuating fake news. In his EFF thing, he didn't lie once. Maybe it didn't work in the bank, I don't know. He didn't lie once though, because he said it looks legitimate, and well, the paper does look legitimate, but you can't really judge its legitimacy from a photograph taken from a printout. So he didn't really lie, but he inflated the story to outrageous proportion, which is just fucking stupid. Yeah, I agree with Klipkop. The fact that Scott lies is not acceptable. Nee, kom nou procrastinator. Ronaldo het toe uitgestik. I'll get to you, Ronaldo. Just you wait. Legit scaremongering. There we go. Scaremongering. That's the one. He's in Australia. It makes it kind of difficult. He had to type in EFF Nathan Kirsch donation into Google. That's all he had to have done to like get to the true story. Something else I found. Can we make news about this? You will not believe who helps fund our big political parties. And this was in April of this year. The DA governing party in the Cape Town Metro and Western Cape is listed as receiving a marginal amount from a South African-born billionaire living in the UK, Nathan Kirsch, and a 400,000 donation from Stefan Nel. Now, we have a DA councillor in the chat at the moment, and like I couldn't find the source where Independent Online got their stuff, but it's some sort of a report. I don't know who published the report, and I really want to get my hands on it. So, Mr. DA councillor, IOL says that you guys received funds from Nathan Kirsch. So, I think that might be my mission for tomorrow, to go and find that report and see how legitimate that report is. Because this will turn like Loving Life Scott's whole theory upside down completely. Phew. You guys are making me talk a lot. Hey, you're on my screen. Then search his name on Google Australia. You are a forensic thinker. Jy gooi klippe in die bos en kyk wat uitkom. Well, the thing is, I'm going to play the Otto's Dal video as well. It's 4 minutes long. Like, guys, just stick around and actually watch it and listen to what he does. He spreads the fake news, but he never lies about it. He must be one of those Christians that say, "Oh, but a twisted truth is not a lie." He starts off his video. He starts off with his video with legitimate protests happening in Ottosdal.
Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And I've got some more video footage of what happened in Ottosdal today, and you can see that the police went missing in action until it was too late. And in this footage that follows, the first video, you'll see the municipal buildings have been set alight. The whole city is, or the whole town, it's a small town, has just been totally wrecked. It's absolutely appalling, and it's actually happening. It's awful. And the second video is, you can just see the fires burning.
The thing is, this is true, and it has happened. The whole town wasn't wrecked. They burned down the municipal offices, which is absolutely barbaric. But the whole town is not in ruins, you know. He takes a truth and then blows it up to a stage that it doesn't really resemble the truth anymore. But anyway, yes, the municipal buildings was on fire. We can watch through the whole. Let's skip ahead for the sake of time. And it was bad.
This is at Worcester.
But now listen to this.
In the Cape, and Ottosdal, just for the record, is southwest of Johannesburg. It's sort of like quite a distance away from Johannesburg, but it's very sad what's happened, what they've done to that town. Okay, here comes the second video, which is about Worcester, and it's similar to the other video which I showed you, but it's far longer and gives you a better picture of the fires burning in Worcester. Alright guys, take care. Please remember to subscribe to be kept informed.
Now, you see, he doesn't mention the protest. He just says that the video is similar. You know, that is like being very, very, very loose with the truth. The fire in Worcester was caused by an LPG truck that reversed into a lamp pole, and the container ruptured. A bakkie came driving past and all the gas exploded. But if you are a Loving Life subscriber, an uninformed Loving Life subscriber, as I think most of his subscribers are, you will leave this video thinking that the protest in Ottosdal and the protest in Worcester is linked, when they are not at all.
Ring the bell for the updates and have as good evening as you can. I know it's pretty hard in South Africa right now.
Dis 'n lorry my ou. Oei.
Let's just got this ready. Worcester explosions causes revealed. This is the huge extent of the damage with photos. Okay, it was a real bad fire, but the reason for the explosion. What caused the Worcester explosion? It was reported earlier that the tanker had overturned, but this has since been debunked. You know, there was fake news running around about the tanker that has overturned, but Scott took it to a whole different dimension with protesters set the thing alight. Anton Bredell is the Minister of Local Government, Environmental Affairs and Development Planning, and he explained that the vehicle had reversed into a lamp pole, causing damage to the tanker. Well, the thing is, neither in the Nathan Kirsch or the Ottosdal video did Scott lie, but he twisted the truth to such an extent to paint a completely wrong picture about what's happening in the country. And it's all for sensationalism. I can't think of any other reason why he would do this. And his channel is growing big, and this is what the people in the international media sees. Like, these are our leaders, our spokespeople, and they go and fact check these things, and they see, no, but these people are full of shit. And then they immediately assume there's nothing wrong in South Africa, which is wrong. You know, we should start speaking out against this. Okay, I'm just gonna check at Klipkops. There's some weird stuff that comes up on Scott. Well, I haven't, like I said, when I started realizing that this guy is full of shit, I stopped following him. I didn't talk about him. It's only when I started receiving direct messages from my fan base, say, "Oh, Klipkop, you have to cover this. You have to cover this." That I felt like I had to actually do something now and respond, you know, because that's what my fans wanted. Hallo Sansal Savannah. Awe, Belville Peters Woogie, stick it. Carplander as well, like the whole cruise here. So tell me, Klipkop and your Gatgaba Gous, is Scott lying about the farm murders and the dastard deeds of the ANC regime? Some of his stuff is correct. Some of his stuff is, he twists the truth, and some of his stuff, he totally blows the truth out of proportion. There is, the best lies are the ones that are based in truth. Like I just showed you with that Ottosdal thing. The Ottosdal thing was real, but the Worcester one was just like an accident, really an accident. Ooh, spasm, but repose. There is a forum where you apparently try to push coins to try to get them to increase in value. Carplander mentioned, I hope he's honestly just really ignorant, but it ruins a legitimate narrative. He is not really ignorant. I don't know if you guys can remember conservative Texas woman, Brandy Texas. She recently started live streaming as well. And while she was setting up, like I was in her live stream, she has deleted the video since. And I mentioned to her, I went on with my real account, that she blocked my Klipkop account specifically for this tweet I did. There's a channel Loving Life. Oh no. Main display. For this tweet. There's a channel Loving Life on YouTube that is like, I basically called out. And it was, I can remember it was her and Hawk Montgomery and Duros Kasperi. There were a few other ones as well, and Lackadaisical van Tonder and a few other guys, but now those were the big names that actually went out and sent tweets out and said, guys, like, block and unfollow this guy. This guy they said all sorts of bad things about me, and that's when we parted our ways. So on this live stream, I asked her, why are we not allowed to scrutinize Scott? And her response to me was, well, she knows he spreads fake news and they have like went their own separate way. She didn't want to go into the reasons or whatever, and she also didn't want to like start like a shit flinging contest. But she knows that he is spreading fake news, and this needs to stop. Let's get back to the comments. Phew. Guys, I'm like really flattered. I've got like 30 odd viewers. Colin Attenbury. Carpenter and Ronaldo in one chat. Now we just need Petzer. Well, Petzer is in Zim at the moment. He's eating rats. Some months ago, I also made a video about exactly this. He's the alpha boomer. I can show you on my thing over here. Where did I do it? Reference on benefit. There we go. Reference on beneficiary statement. Alpha boomer. Klipkop, how about the muddies? How about he muddies the water? Well, it's not just muddies, you know, like there's a whole bunch of turds floating around in there. I agree, it's time to flush Scott out cause he's spreading false news, like you said, based in truth. Yeah, like the best lies are the ones that based in truth. He's an old player, he's an old man. He knows what he's doing. You cannot lie about something, about someone being murdered. The facts and circumstances are recorded by organizations like farm murders. Well, I never said that he lied about like certain. There might have been times that he lied about farm murders as well. I don't follow his channel. I'm not a Loving Life Scott fan, but the few videos that I've watched is absolutely drenched with bullshit. So you can't put words in my mouth that says, yeah, but like farm murders aren't real. I know farm murders are real. Farm murders is a huge problem. And to address the problem, we need to be accurate. And we can't continue like Loving Life Scott, because he gets debunked so quickly and people see him as a spokesperson for the people that is fighting the good cause when he is not. He is perpetuating fake news and lies. Ah, at last, an intelligent question. What brand of entries do you smoke? I smoke Styvies, my bro. Is die beste soute. Okay. I think I can leave Loving Life Scott unless he makes a response video. I'm just going to leave it from here on forward. I made myself very clear. Back in the day when I made this tweet, I was just like Carpenter is now. When was this? The 20th of January. I gave him the benefit of the doubt to say that that he is being fed misinformation and he is just amplifying that misinformation. But I am totally convinced he knows exactly what he's doing. So yes, Loving Life Scott, your channel is a farce. And I'm going to end it there. I'm going to close all these tabs and we are going to dun, 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 dun. Okay, let me just No. No. Did I disconnect? Did I disconnect or not? Please tell me I didn't disconnect. I think I'm back online. I closed the box, and if I didn't disconnect, respect to OBS Studio and YouTube for allowing you to close this tab and still keeping the stream up. Whew! I'm actually sweating here. We saw your despair. I'll survive. Now let's get to Nicholas Bouwer. Like, if you guys follow me on Twitter, like, I already made a big thing of this. There's also a guy that's like spreading misinformation like crazy. Like, here's a woman, she tweeted originally. Most white South Africans have not moved on from 1989. They still think the words Marxist, Socialist and Communist are swear words. It's pure Cold War propaganda hysteria and the South African apartheid equivalent drummed into us at Veldskool in Standard 5 and again in Standard 8. Die rooi gevaar. Well, I still see die rooi gevaar as a legitimate danger because the documents of the SACP, the National Democratic Revolution, if you go read through that, it almost like it describes what happened in our past, exactly between that period, 1960 and 1994, exactly what the plan was, and everything after that with the Gelede deployment and everything. It describes exactly the country in the direction we are heading now. And we are definitely still communist leaning. Now Nicholas Bouwer replied, and it's so boring too, it's 2019, communism is long gone. Anyone who claims to be one or label you isn't. And that which happened in the Soviet era wasn't communist. That wasn't real communism. Wasn't communism anyways. Can't you all join the 21st century? I think, please tell me Nicholas is trolling with this, that wasn't communist anyways, because like, that wasn't real communism is like the biggest meme on the internet ever. But either way, to just like to point out his utter bullshit.
Is Hendrik Verwoerd even worth debating in 2019? And do smaller parties have anything?
You see over here,
on May 8th?
he is on a show, Politbureau,
In 50 days,
and he hosts this show.
the Politburo is now in session.
Now, if you go look up the definition of Politbureau, government, politics and diplomacy, the executive and policy making committee of a communist party, and in historical terms, the supreme policy making authority in most communist countries. Now we go back to his tweet. And it's so boring too. It's 2019. Communism is long gone. Anyone who claims to be one, like it. The guy's just one big idiot. Like I said, most of my preparation was about Scott. I had this little thing I wanted to say about Nicholas Bouwer just to get some more practice in. I streamed for almost an hour and I am now really not going to open my computer again. I'm going to go to the chat and see what you guys have to say. Klipkop, have you read WikiLeaks doc on high treason? I've never read any WikiLeaks docs before. There's just so much stuff on the internet to read. You can't like get to everything. But if I have like enough people that says like I should do something or I should really read something, I will go. Somebody mentioned I'm not all that clued up with international politics either. Agenda 21 of the UN. Now I still need to go look that up. Carplan says NDP. You know, the NDP forms part of the NDR, in my opinion. Like it's almost like the communists know, like if you want to fool Whitey, just throw the word democratic in there and nobody can argue. No, it's democratic. Communism is... The thing is, there was a stage that I read up exactly what communism is, and I read up what socialism is, and I got a firm grasp. But then listening to other communist leaders and socialist leaders and people talking about it, like it got vague again. Like I don't really get what the difference is between the two. To me, it's all the same. They have the literal SACP in government. Yes, it's the tripartite alliance. The thing is, the ANC doesn't really exist. It is COSATU and the SACP. The ANC is just the puppets in front who is dancing. But it's the ANC and COSATU who's pulling the strings. They try to relabel. I think they are still trying to relabel that. The thing is, aren't they doing like something like that in China at the moment? State capitalism. Klipkop, you an urbanite or a based rural boy? The thing is, I'm like somewhere in between. I was born and raised in the Namakwa, basically the fucking desert, bro. And like I always wanted to like move to the big city, and I moved to the city when I was 18. Like moved out from my mom's place. I could barely afford to like buy myself a beer, but you know I just moved and I went to work there, and I was there for like about 12 years, but then like all the hustle and bustle, like I grew a bit older, so I just like moved like a little bit out towards the west coast, just to get like back to my roots, you know, a little bit of peace and quiet, you know. It's like way too busy in the city. There is so much stuff on the internet to read, like. Jy moet minder rook, procrastinate. Yeah, you know, like fuck. Ronaldo has his vape, Willem Petzer has his pipe, you know, everybody has their little thing. I just need my entries, my bro. If it takes my life at the end, you know, I'm gonna die a happy man. Numsa too. Yes, like I made a video about like how the unions, I made actually 2 videos, how the unions are causing people to die. There was this one security guard while the union was striking. Now the security guard's not part of the union, but they noticed that there's a black man going to work. So they locked him inside his security cubicle and they set the cubicle on fire, burning him alive. He was in ICU for like 4 days before he died. No, that is gruesome. And it's not really covered in the media, you know, which is actually quite sad. Because they are trying to hide their own deeds. And it is COSATU that did it. It's the ANC who did it. My grandfather is an Namakwa farmer. Goeie mense, sout van die aarde. Dude, I have not hit the bell icon yet. I think for my self-shilling bit, I must like cut a piece of Ronaldo's video. Like he does it so well. Like cheers and peace out. Hit the bell icon on Instagram and Twitter and I don't know what. I'm not that cool yet. Klipkop note, there's a 1-minute delay with you reading the chat. Yeah, for sure. Like my internet is like super cuck over here. Like I don't have fiber. I'm working through a wireless connection. So that's just the way it is. The thing that triggered me about Nicholas Bow, I'm going to get back to him now. Now that you mention Hong Kong. Sue, was it you that said I must read up on Article 21 of the UN? I think it was you. Let me go to my main display quickly. Nicholas Bower. It was pretty recent, I think. He made a thing about Hong Kong. Hong Kong? Shit, but he posts so much. Good point. Come on, Nicholas, where? Show me the money. Here we go. Have you guys seen this video?
Africa to move away from this. Like South Africa has this.
Come on, mate.
I don't want
Come on, mate.
This is not the Hong Kong that I've learned to love. Like everybody is so everybody in Hong Kong is so lovable and welcoming for all foreigners, and then to experience this, it hurts me. It really hurts me.
How do you feel about the police actions to the protesters?
There's a good and a bad to both protesters, and there's a good and a bad to police. And I just wish both sides would just stop. Like, I understand.
Now, like, I don't know if you guys know the backstory to Hong Kong. One of my videos, I go into depth on self-determination. And that's also the first time that I learned about Hong Kong and how the things happen. Now, Hong Kong is like a small little island that forms part of the Great China, you know. It's I don't have a square mileage, like maybe I'm lying, but it might be like the size of Johannesburg, might even be smaller, the size that Hong Kong is. But the British took out, they were renting that island on a 199-year lease from 1890 something, you know. Yeah, by the 1990s they had to hand it back. Now, while they were in control of this island, they made that island so prosperous. And now that the island has to be returned, the people of Hong Kong said, no, but we don't want to open up to all of this poverty streaming in, and basically the same as what's happening with the web at the moment, where we give 2 billion in taxes and we only get 50 billion in return. Like, our money gets used to get squalid there in the Eastern Cape, you know. Like, the Eastern Cape gets like 20 times back that they actually put in, but they're not building the schools, they're not building the infrastructure, and those people are migrating towards the Western Cape because there's prosperity. And now all of these jobless, homeless people, they are squatting around Cape Town, and now you get Al Jazeera coming down with their cameras and saying, look at the inequality, there's rich people over here and poor people over there. But the thing is, they came from the Eastern Cape and they need government to build infrastructure there to give them a reason to stay. Helen Ziller was on Ronaldo's show the other day where she said, oh, but the Western Cape currently has 50 to 55 students per class, and the rural schools in the Eastern Cape has about 10 to 12 people per class. That's because when the last census were done, they get allocated money, resources for schools, and the demographics has changed to such an extent that that the schools are absolutely flooded in the Western Cape and are standing empty in the Eastern Cape. But our friend Nicholas over here, oh shit. Another reason, no man. Oh, he just retweeted. The selfish tears of this woman are exemplary of the worst instincts of South African whiteness. She cares more about herself. She cares more about herself than she does about democracy or protest. But Nicholas himself, here we go. This is what Nicholas had to say about the video. Sadly, this is the type of outcry from many privileged, mostly white South Africans when it comes to service delivery protest. No, these aren't service delivery protests. It's a communist takeover, exactly what China is doing to Hong Kong at the moment. Dismayed by the violence, shocked by the discomfort. oblivious and ignorant to the realities that led to the clash in the first place. Now, this is another myth I would like to debunk. Say, yeah, apartheid caused this, apartheid caused that, apartheid. Inequality existed before apartheid. You know, I probably shouldn't like go down this route. Like the internet is not ready for this. Maybe if I start my super chat, you guys can start asking me questions about that. Let me talk cuck again. I've been going for more than an hour. I should finish up. Soon the YouTube algo will spit loving life out, and then its insane growth will turn into a nosedive. I'm not even going to go down that debate. That's just blows below the belt. I'm here for the facts. The Car Plunder, I'm going to do a book recommendation video soon. Be sure to check it out if you're an avid reader. The thing is, I am not. One of my friends gave me like a pack of biltong and 3 books to read. Now, like I've chowed all the biltong, I haven't opened the books yet. Oh yeah, about that girl. I left him a nice message too. Let me see, what did Belville Pitt say about it? Some wise worded virtue signal from Mr. Fake News himself. Well done, Peter. Plukkom, Nicholas, plukkom. The mass movement of people from the Transkei to the Western Cape well, you say it a bit more specifically, from the Transkei. The thing is, what's happening in Nelson Mandela Bay, Ronaldo? Why aren't the people from the Transkei going there? Why are they coming to the Western Cape? And you can ask your Mama Zilla, like, I'm not talking cuck. This is actually happening. It's economic migrants. Nicholas clearly doesn't know that what he's talking about when it comes to what's happening in Hong Kong. He obviously has no clue. He's talking out of his arse. He's a puppet for the communist movement. You know, guys, I think I should end it right here. It's just over an hour. I peaked at just under 40 viewers. And I want to say thank you very much to each and every one of you that you find me interesting enough to come and watch. If you have any questions, you must gooi them now. You know, I'm just going to like chill out for a little bit more and then disappear. I need some material for next time. Nou maar toe, dan gaan ek het daar so los. Soos altyd, vol hart en hou koers.